Hi, my name's Rose. Thanks for stopping by my channel. Today I was going to show you how I make some meatloaf. Meatloaf is a pretty easy recipe. You pretty much take all the ingredients, put them in a large bowl, mix them up, and then you bake it. I'm making 2 loaves today, but you can cut the recipe in half and just make 1 loaf. It'll only take about an hour to cook if you have 1 loaf. So let's go over the ingredients. First I have 2.25 pounds of lean ground beef. I have half of an onion that I'm going to chop, 2 eggs. I use 4 pieces of bread that I chop up in small pieces, and we have a 1/4 cup of milk, a 1/2 cup of ketchup, and some extra ketchup to put on the top of the meatloaf when we're right before we cook it. And I have 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of oregano, and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. I use a large pan with a little bit of a, so that it can hold any grease that catches, and then drain the grease off in the end. If you have it on a flat cookie sheet, you're going to be in trouble. Okay, so let's get started. I like to mix all the ingredients first before I add the meat, and then I add the meat last. So we're going to chop this. Let's do the bread first, and we'll leave the onion for when I feel like getting watery eyes. Okay, we're going to chop this into small pieces. I don't like to use the heels because, well, of the loaf of bread, because it makes it just a little bit too coarse, the meatloaf. But you can if you like. Okay, we'll add put everything in the bowl. Oops. Wow, I'm surprised this onion isn't making me cry. Okay, now I'm ready to add the eggs. That's 2 eggs. Got a 1/4 cup of milk. 1/2 cup of ketchup. You really don't need a lot of spice with meatloaf. It seems like the more basic you keep it, the better it is. So I'm putting in a teaspoon of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of oregano, and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Now you're going to want to mix that up to get that egg all stirred in there. Okay, let's see, it just looks like that. Not too moist, just moist, not too wet. Okay, now we're going to add the ground beef. That's 2.25 pounds of lean ground beef. Let's stir this up. Then divide it in half to make 2 loaves. And then we just flatten these out and it'll cook more evenly. Okay, I have it in 2 loaves, and I like to put a little bit of ketchup on the tops of the meatloaf. Spread it around. Okay, your meatloaf is ready for the oven. You just cook it on 350 degrees for 1 hour, and then you'll take it out and take the foil off, because you'll cook this with foil on the top, And after that, you'll cook it for another 20 to 30 minutes with no foil. Okay, it's been 1 hour, and this is what the meatloaf looks like. I drained all the juices from the pan, and as you can see, there's some of the meatloaf coming through the ketchup. If you want to make that nice and pretty again, just add a little more ketchup. So we're going to cook this for another, I think another 15 minutes. I checked it with a thermometer, and it was already 170 degrees, but we like ours well done, so I'm going to cook it a little longer. Okay, the meatloaf is done. It's been 1 hour and 10 minutes. There we go. There's pretty much no pink in there. It's just if you cook it too long, it'll get dry.